Hello, my name is Goksen. I work at ICLEI European Secretariat as the Senior Advocacy Expert, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the developments on this day. We are on the 14th of November, and it's the fourth day of the COP, and the world leaders left the summit, and now we started to see the topical ministers coming in and discussing some of the important topics. The key topic of today was the finance, and as this is the finance COP, the money was the topic that we discussed more or less in all the rooms. First of all, the day started with informal consultations on the NCQG text. So this is an abbreviation that we love using at this COP, but it means New Collective Quantified Goal on Climate Finance. So this is about how we are going to finance our transition after 2025. We started today. On one side, the technical team started their informal consultations, and on the other side, we started the ministers met for an informal ministerial meeting on climate finance. There were a lot of different messages and a lot of different ideas about how the financing should flow in the international climate finance structure, but there was one thing clear: the current amount is not enough, so we need to step up our climate finance, and we need to kind of make it accessible to all necessary stakeholders, and also the transparency of the financial flows was an important discussion point. What is important for our LGMA constituency is that we actually advocate for this new climate finance to be directly accessible for subnational and local governments, because they are the ones who need to kind of address some of the emergencies, and they need to also develop a number of mitigation and adaptation measures, so they should be able to benefit from these fundings directly. Another important development in terms of negotiations was the Mitigation Work Programme, which had its text published today, and there are a number of important references to cities and urbanization in that document, and we will continue following its informal negotiations to make sure that the role of sustainable urbanization and the cities and the other subnational governments is recognized in those texts. The Day of Energy, and there will be a number of important discussions on how we are going to focus on tripling renewable energy and doubling energy efficiency, which were the kind of important commitments under the global stocktake that was agreed last year. We are seeing an important leadership from subnational leaders in this COP, and their leadership is very much sought by national governments because they are very clearly seen as the implementation partners of the Paris Agreement. So that is why there is a kind of an openness from all stakeholders to include and make sure that the local governments can have a seat. We are working very closely with a number of national governments to discuss our positioning and why it's important to have access. So in the next couple of days, we will focus very much on making sure that the final agreements and the text from this COP will guarantee that the local, regional, and other subnational governments can benefit from finance, and their role in delivering mitigation and adaptation measures are properly recognized in the outcomes of this COP.